Alright, assalamu alaikum guys. So we actually have a little bit of help today. We have Fahad, one of our friends, helping us out with the recording. Say salam Fahad.
Assalamu alaikum.
we'll get him on camera as well so we don't steal all the spotlight. What Steven is doing right here is actually positioning the oil rings, the spacer rings, the second ring and the first ring onto the piston to get it into, you could point this way, to get it into the block. We've had a lot of trouble trying to figure out how to do this. It should have been a very simple task, but it's proving to be more difficult than we expected because we didn't know the exact technique. So there's a couple of things that we have to take into account. Let me get this for 1 second. So the oil rings, they all have gaps. I don't know if you guys can see it, but there, you see how that gap is right there? That particular gap cannot be in line with this piston pin hole, nor the thrust area. So this is the thrust area right here. So it can't be in any of these directions. So it has to be at an angle of, you know, yeah, it just has to be at like 90-degree angles, just away from this line and this line. So that's kind of what we're doing. I think while he does that, we'll probably pause it, gang, and then come back to you. Cool, so we're back. So we just aligned the gaps on the piston. We haven't been very successful with this, so hopefully we will be successful. Alright, so we're trying to place, this is the ring compressor that we bought. Fairly inexpensive, and probably that's why we're having so much trouble. But see that noise?
That's just the metal from this.
Alright, so what we figured out is to not leave any... Did we oil this?
No.
So guys, don't forget, lubrication is key in this particular procedure. What we're doing is we're actually going to lubricate this with motor oil, just so that, you know, we eliminate...
Too much.
Okay, we eliminate any friction.
Sure, this will be lubricated.
Just grab a napkin and actually wipe this down. So what we're doing is this IN, that actually stands for intake. Can we actually see the letters? Yep. Alright, I mean, there's an IN, you're going to have to take our word for it if it doesn't show up on camera. And we're just making sure that we're placing that on the intake side. And once we do that, what we have to do is just make sure there's no gaps. Like, I don't know if you guys can see that right here, but you see there's a huge gap over here between the cylinder surface and the actual tool. So if we don't adjust this correctly, you're holding it? If we don't adjust it correctly, we're going to lose compression, or the spring being compressed at a particular angle, so it's not going to go in. So hopefully with this particular procedure, we're actually going to see it go in one shot. We've actually not been successful with other ones. I'm getting kind of frustrated, but...
Hold it. And then hold it on that side.
On which side? This way?
Yes.
Hold on. It loosened. Hold it from the bottom and loosen the back. So. You got it?
Mm-hmm.
Look good?
Mm-hmm. That's fine.
I see a little bit of a gap. You
That's
sure?
why you push on.
Wow. Every time we do it on camera, we seem to get it right. So it only took us 75% of time to get these, to figure out how to do the fourth one. So
We've been here since 1, guys.
Yeah, we've been doing this since like 1 o'clock, trying to get pistons in, which is supposed to be the easiest job compared to the other stuff that we've done. But hey, when you do it for the first time, I guess things can go wrong. So, wipe your hand. I think you have oil on it. I think as of right now, we'll probably pause it and you know, we'll go for the last one we're doing. Right?
Yep.
All right, so we're here with our new recruit, Fahad. He actually came over for an oil change. Unfortunately, somebody stripped his oil pan nut off. If not, we were gonna kind of record that for you guys, but no, we can't do it now. So what we're doing right now is actually putting in the rod bearing caps in. We did 3 of the cylinders already. We're just up to the last one, and we have to torque this to 36 foot-pounds, and that's essentially what we're doing. So let's interview Fahad, since this is his first time watching live on YouTube for our car stuff. So what do you think about this so far, Fahad? What did you learn so far?
Well, I learned that it takes a lot of technique. You know, you have to be careful about balancing different angles and different screws.
Yeah.
Really, because slight mishap and then you have yourself a
whole slew of problems.
Yeah.
Alright, so what we actually did here, as well as we used assembly lube on the bearings. We didn't document the bearings because it's kind of simple what we did. You know, we just placed the bearings in here and we used that little compound over there called assembly lube. Again, that was more Steven's input. He wanted to use assembly lube. I was fine with using engine oil, but you know, gotta do some stuff the way it's supposed to be done. So we did it. That's it. So we're torqued to 36 foot-pounds. We actually have the crankshaft in, so let's see how this baby works. So this took us a while, but our crankshaft is supported. It'll stay in there. This thing is actually getting heavy to move.
Brand new pistons.
Brand new pistons. There you go. So just gonna give it a quick turn, just to like see everything's in order. That didn't work out too well.
Thrust washer.
Alright. Alright, we'll come back to you since we screwed up. Alright, so if you were watching previously, don't rotate the crankshaft until the bearing caps, the main bearing is on, because it'll fall out. So what we're doing is a 2-step process for tightening this. We've already torqued these in the order specified for 22 pounds. Now we're going to torque it to 54 pounds per foot. So what's the sequence, Steven? I got this, right? 1. All right. So just tightening until it there we go, 54. 54.
You're
Did it
done.
hit? Okay. Again, the reason why we torque them down in 2 steps is so that we don't warp anything of the engine. Okay. I don't know how Steven can remember the sequence, because I cannot. Alright. Yeah, definitely can't remember what Steven's remembering. Did I hit it?
Yep.
Yep. Alright. Should I just try to see if all of them are done?
Now you're gonna over tighten.
Alright, so 54. Now maybe we can actually record turning the crankshaft now without it having any negative effects. Like dropping the...
What size is that?
Say again? No, I'm going to probably be able to see if I could turn it by hand.
Okay.
So let's see.
Should rotate fine now.
It should. We had dropped the... What did we drop? The
Thrust washer.
the thrust washers.
Thrust bearings.
Yeah. So hopefully now we're all good. So let's do a quick test. Wait, which way it's supposed to turn? I think counterclockwise, right? Probably have to oil some of this up, but everything looks good. We have 2 second and third in top dead center, and 1 and 4 in top dead center. We probably just have to oil it a little bit. Yeah, I think we should oil it. But everything seems fine. So far, that's what we've been able to do. Get the crankshaft in, get the pistons in, which was more challenging than we expected. But, you know, we're doing it for the first time. We're learning. So, peace.